Today I'm working with the Raspberry Pi Model B+. This is an improvement on the previous version, Model B, through its increased connectivity by using 4 USB ports rather than 2. It also has the following features. A 40-pin GPIO header. This is a noticeable improvement as the previous version only had 26 pins. A DSI display connector, a micro SD card slot, a 5-volt micro USB port. The energy efficiency on this board has improved through better power management, a HDMI port, a CSA camera connector, a 4-pole 3.5mm jack with stereo audio and composite video, an Ethernet socket, and as I previously mentioned, 4 USB ports rather than 2. I'm going to be using the Raspberry Pi to create a project using NFC. For this project, I'll be needing the usual peripherals, that is a USB keyboard, a USB mouse, a micro USB power supply, a micro SD card, and a HDMI screen. I'll also be using a device which plugs onto the GPIO. This is a NXP Explorer board for NFC. This allows you to read and write to NFC cards as well as read the RFID from the card itself. This plugs onto the GPIO port, ensuring that you've undone the power. This will take a few minutes for the operating system to load, after which you should be able to log in and start the graphical interface. Once the operating system has loaded up, double-click on the LXD terminal icon on the main window. I've pre-downloaded the NXPPY library, which is a Python wrapper for the C library to interact with the NFC board. You can get this from the link in the description below. Once you've downloaded this code, we're going to create a file called read.py. This file should look like this. You can get the code from the links in the description below. So basically what this code does is it imports the library that we downloaded. It runs in a loop the process to read a ID from the card, which will be on the reader, and then it prints out this ID to the screen. And we're now going to close this file and run it. Now that this file is running, you'll need a NFC card. I'm using my student card as this has an NFC chip in it. Hold the NFC card over the reader and you should see it output the ID of that card. I'm now going to show a project that I created using the NFC reader. This uses this ID in order to create a system whereby the user can collect points based on the devices that the person scans their card on. This could be used in a situation such as a community event where you want to analyse the number of people and also provide some kind of point system for turning up to the event. The structure of this particular project is such that the device will read the ID, check whether this is already in the database. It holds a file in XML format which details the person who has scanned it, their name, and their ID. It also holds a list of the achievements that the particular device has on it and a list of the people who've collected achievements that are on this device. All of the code for this is available on one of the links below. To demonstrate this, I will run another copy of read.py, which instead of doing the loop, accesses a different class which contains all of the code for reading a card and for checking the database. I'll also be holding my NFC card over the reader. As you can see, this prints out the ID as before, but it also requests the person's name. and prints out how many achievements the person has collected. If we scan the card again, it allows the user to answer a question. This question has been pre-written using a different script, which allows an administrator of this particular device to edit or add to the number of achievements that are stored on the device. Here we have a question which is name the most recent model of the Raspberry Pi. If the user enters the correct answer, the device prints a message telling the user that they've collected another achievement and prints how many achievements the user has and the IDs of those. There's another version of this available through the tutorials posted on Element 14, which allows for a networked device using the same protocol. This means that we could have several different devices which all connect to the same data server and which the user can scan their card and check their number of achievements. I hope this project has been useful and that it has inspired you to use the Explore NFC board on the Raspberry Pi to create your own project.